Welcome back to the Manchester City career mode, where we are trying to build Manchester City back to the top, win them another Champions League. Here is the team that we were able to build in the last episode. Pretty good team, and still gotta improve though. I forgot to look at the youth academy. I'm gonna go ahead and release just anyone who doesn't seem to have any rating or potential. But in order to fill up the gaps of the people that we are releasing, I gone ahead and bought a couple of scouts. We were able to get a five-star scout here. And then we already had a scouts that just came once we were assigned to this team. And we got a 4-star, 5-star, which isn't the worst. Definitely look to upgrade it, especially that 4-star, 4-star that already came in the team. We're sending our first scout to England. Here in England for 3 months, as we're going to go ahead and look for a center back, a right back, and a left back. Now, just kind of picking random stuff right there. I don't really care, just looking to see if we can pick up anyone. And then our other scouts, we're going to go and ahead and send them to Asia. We got more countries, so we might as well take advantage of it, as we're going to be sending this scout to the Philippines in order to search for some center attacking midfielders, as well as a striker and a CDM. And as well, just kind of picking some random stuff for the little special little focused roles or whatever. But we're sending our scouts. Hopefully we can find some gems. As we now head into our first match of the night, can we get the victory? A very disappointing 2-1 loss to Nottingham Forest. Quite embarrassing once more, having a lot of shots, but not able to do so. And we have decided to put Ederson as our starting goalkeeper for this match, making a couple edits as well up top. We are able to get the win against Stevenage, which is very, I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing. As we now head against first place team, Brighton. Can we get a victory? I mean, they're in first place for a reason, but we are able to pull off that victory. 7 shots and only 2 goals. Still a little bad, but we are improving. We got some players now into the team of the week, just showing how much we are moving up, but still not at where we want to be, as now we head into some Champions League action. Manchester City against FC Porto. And we are able to get a huge victory, 3-2 against FC Porto from Portugal. A very good victory for us as we continue to move forward in the Champions League. Now back in the Premier League as we face off against Chelsea. Can we get the victory here? And we get a tie. Once more, 7 shots and we're only able to score 1. Quite embarrassing. I'm not sure what's going on there, but anyhow, now we move into a huge match against Liverpool. Can we get the victory? Yes, we can, as Florian Wirtz is able to score the first and only goal in order to get us a victory. And then he's in the team of the week, and a couple other of our players in the team of the week as well, as we now head back into the Champions League against Dynamo. Can we get a win? Yes, we do. Doing very good in the Champions League. Able to get the victory, 1-0. Now headed into our next match against Arsenal in the Premier League. Can we get a victory against another big team? And sadly, we only get the tie. Very good side, but at least we were able to pick up a point. Now a replay of that match, but this time in the Carabao Cup. Can we get the victory here? And yes, we can. We take it all the way to penalties, but nevertheless, we were able to beat Arsenal. We continue in the Carabao Cup, and with that, I am able to win Manager of the Month. So, we're being recognized, which is good, as now we head into our very first Manchester derby. Can we get a victory here? Can we show them that Manchester is blue? And once more, 7 shots and only 1 goal. Not sure what is happening. We get the tie. At least we didn't lose, but still not good enough. Back now in the Champions League against Fenerbahce. Can we get another victory here? And we end up losing 6 shots. 1 goal. They took 4 and scored 2. An embarrassing loss for us. So after that, I decided to move some stuff around with the tactics. And hopefully we're able to see instant impact as we head against first place now, Aston Villa. And we take the loss as Haaland misses a penalty. We had 7 shots, and we still cannot score. This is embarrassing for Manchester City, as now a match against Brentford. Can we get the win back in our winning ways? But we're taking so much shots, scoring so little. It's honestly embarrassing. But now into a huge match against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Can we pull off a huge victory? Yes, we can. We beat Real Madrid. I would have to say, Champions League-wise, the best team of all time. We are able to beat them 3-2. Doing very good in the Champions League, hoping to replicate that here in the Premier League against Everton. And another tie in the league. Not very good. This is not going to help us be able to place first. Too much ties, not scoring enough goals. As now we go up against Sunderland. Should be an easy win. And luckily for us, it is. We still struggle though with 7 shots and only 2 goals. We need to find a way to improve that. As now we head into a match against Fulham. Looking to get a victory at home. And we are able to pull it off. Just barely, as Florian Wirtz also getting a red card. Haaland missing a penalty, but we win the match 3-2 nevertheless. And now some more of our players are in the team of the week. But now we head into some Champions League action against Monaco. Can we get the victory? Yes, we can. 3-0 victory. We're doing a lot better in the Champions League than we are in the Premier League. Not sure why that is, but hopefully we can replicate our Champions League actions into the Premier League. And yet another tie. This time against West Ham. Haaland missing another penalty. Not a good look for Erling Braut Haaland. But we move on to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup against Newcastle. Will we be able to make it into the semifinals? Before we do so, I've decided to play Anderson. The times I've played him, he has done good. Hopefully he can continue. And yes, we are able to score more than 2 goals as we score 4. And we end up winning the match 4-1. We move on to the semifinals. Now we got some transfer offers. As we are now in January, the transfer window has opened. But I don't plan on selling any of my players at the moment. Now hopping into a match against Wolves. Can we get the victory? Yes, 3-1. But Erling Haaland getting a red card. It's always one thing. If it's not us selling more players in the team of the week, if it's not us selling with shots on target, it's us selling with red cards. Now hopping into a match against Newcastle, the boys we beat in the Carabao Cup. But this time we tie. I don't see why we aren't able to do good in the Premier League. Now in a match against Norwich. Can we get a victory? Yes, we can. 7 shots, 2 goals. Still not able to really penetrate. But however, the transfer window is open. So we're going to go ahead and make a little signing here. A youngster who's looking to have some good potential. A left winger from Tottenham Hotspurs. We quickly, get everything completed with the manager of Spurs. And now just looking for the wages. Looking for that contract signing. He's looking for that prospect role. 4 years. I'm happily accepting all of this. And now the final bit of information. Just giving him a little signing bonus. Hopefully, yes, we can. As this man right here is the newest signing to Manchester City. And now we hop into our next match against West Ham. We tied against them last time. Can we get the victory? Yes, we can. We get a 2-0 victory. Very well. Now against Brighton, as we look to make it into the final of the Carabao Cup. And a 4-2 win gives us that ticket to the final. At least we're doing good in another competition. Now into the FA Cup. An easy victory here. What? We just lost to Crew Alexandra. 8 shots and only 1 goal. And just like that, we're eliminated out of the FA Cup. We continue now with a win against Fulham in the Premier League. But I'm still shocked by the fact we're eliminated out of the FA Cup already. We're slowly moving up the rankings in the Premier League. At the moment, we are 5th. as we head into this match against Brentford. Can we go ahead and get the victory here? Yes, we can. A 3-0 victory. Now slowly getting those wins here in the Premier League. Now back into the Champions League against Atlanta. And we get the tie, which isn't the worst, but isn't the best. We continue, though, as now against Aston Villa. Can we get the victory and another tie? So much ties, man. I completely forgot to mention that Pedri got a red card. So as we hop into this next Champions League match, we got to go ahead and sub him out. And it's going to be a tough game against Napoli. Can we get the victory? And we get squashed 3-1 as we take a defeat in the Champions League. And now we do end up sending someone out. However, it is only a loan as we do have a lot of right backs. We send Rico Lewis down to Monza in France for 2 years. We can recall him if we wish to do so. Now looking to sign another player. This guy right here, Mora, who is young. He has potential. He may not necessarily be a starter or even in the substitutes right away. But just in case, if this career mode ends up taking longer than I expect, he can definitely build up and be a future great of this club as we quickly get our transfer accepted and now heading into the contract negotiations with this man, looking to just give him a prospect role. He wants that as well, so we're easily able to accept, 4 years, no release clause. And now just looking at the wages as we look to secure yet another signing. And he wants more, but we are willing to pay that, as now Mora is the newest signing of Manchester City here in the January transfer window. As we now head into our next match, can we get the victory? Yes, we can, as we are able to beat Sunderland 2-0. And now looking to sign a striker, keeping that same type of identity with these players. Young, high potential, pretty cheap, just in case to be prepared for the future. Obviously, we want to complete all of our tasks within this first year, and hopefully we can complete this rebuild in this first season. But just in case, we can go ahead and have a future striker after Haaland. And now we hop into some negotiations for the contract, just looking to get that final signature from the player in order to confirm this signing prospect. I'm happy with that. Then Years obviously going to try to look for 5 as he is young. Yes, no transfer release clause. He gives me the wages he wants, and we go ahead and accept that. The newest signing of Manchester City. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but there it is. Our newest signing. And just like that, deadline day is over, and we are stuck with the squad that we have. A good squad. Hopefully we can complete all of our challenges. And look at Pedri being recognized, doing very good. Happy for him. So let's having some of our players in the team of the week, Ruben Diaz and Balde. We now head into our next match. I did not know that we had 2 legs of the Carabao Cup in order to make the final. Or I did know. I just completely forgot. But anyhow, can we get the victory and secure that final now? Yes, we can. As we squash Brighton and make it into the final of the Carabao Cup. And now as we take a look who our opponent will be, Chelsea is who we meet in the final. However, we keep moving as now in the Premier League. We are able to get yet another victory, and at the moment, we are on fire. It looks like signing some young guys. Bring competition. We got some more players in the team of the week, Pedri. Even if they're not necessarily, and look at our Champions League opponent, even if they're not necessarily, really in the starting 11, they cause that competition. And now we go against first place team Brighton, who we already beat in the Carabao Cup. Can we do it once more? Yes, we can. We beat the first place team 3-0, and we are on fire as of late with some more of our players in the team of the week, and we look to continue. Can we get another victory? Yes, we can. We are able to defeat Nottingham Forest 3-2. We're doing a lot better as now round of 16 Champions League action We have to, substitute Ruben Diaz as he had gotten a red card. I think it was accumulations of yellow cards. Can we still get the victory, though? Yes, we can. We are able to beat them 2-1. Now just the next leg, and hopefully we make it into the quarterfinals for now. A match against Bournemouth, where we win yet again, and we are just finally woken up as we are just on a hot streak. A domination of the team of the week as pretty much our whole defense and even Jonathan David in the team of the week now looking to cement ourselves into the next round of the Champions League, and we do so as we're able to beat Borussia Dortmund 3-0 in the second leg. And just like that, this episode is done. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next episode, we open up with Chelsea, Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final at the moment in the Premier League. 4th place, we continue to try to chase 1st place. Now Liverpool. And in the Champions League, obviously, we have made it to the quarterfinals. So we'll have to see who our opponent is in that. And then we take a look at the top scorers. Erling Haaland, top scorer in the Carabao Cup. And our top assister, Pedri, in 3rd place. As we take a look at the Premier League, Pedri also on top with assist in the Premier League. But once it comes to goals, we're all the way down in 9th. And in the Champions League, when it comes to goals, it's kind of the same thing. We're all the way down in 15th. And when it comes to assists, we are nowhere to be seen. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Make sure to tune in to the next episode, Carabao Cup final. Maybe we even finish off this whole rebuild. We'll have to see. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode.